All right, with this West 2 Facebook Live update, I'm Chief Meteorologist Tony If just wanted to give you guys a quick update on ETA, go through some of the graphics that we have for you now in anticipation of what could be headed our way. This is, again, going to be subject to change here as we go through the next 48 hours as we kind of firm up the tracks and what we have as far as development is concerned with what is now Tropical Depression ETA. Jeff Neighbors has popped in. Jeff, good to have you, my friend. Jeffrey Santucci, Carla Dean, good to have you guys in here. A ton of graphics to go through here, all pertaining to ETA and what this storm may bring and spread our way. Stephanie Marie, Tina O'Wedding, Jane, Teresa, good to have you there, young lady. Appreciate you popping on in on a Friday night. Obviously, everybody's been talking about this storm. Emily West is popping in. Ems, good to have you there. Luke Canada, Josh, Lissa Borelli, Douglas Smith, Danielle McGinnis, Wendy Campbell, Teresa Thuros, Lindsay, Bobby Alexander, Kathy. I got a bunch of folks in here, right? Let me switch it over and kind of get this puppy started because we want to get right to the gist of what we have here and what's going on and what we're going to be dealing with as we go through the next 48 to as much as 120 hours or 5 days, believe it or not. Let me just go ahead and share. While I'm doing that, I would love you guys even more than I already do. If you guys wouldn't mind sharing this feed, just want to try to give everybody a heads up. We are not expecting this to develop into a hurricane based upon everything we're seeing right now. So that's the good news. The bad news, though, is with a situation like this, you can get a lot of rain, you can get a lot of coastal beach erosion, and you can also, if it were to get a little bit stronger, you run the risk for some severe weather, especially across South Florida as it makes its closest trek to that portion of the peninsula. And flooding. I think South Florida has a chance for some significant rainfall, and that could definitely lead to some flooding concerns down there. It's been a very wet month down there for our friends in South Florida, and they may do incredibly well with rainfall with this particular feature. I'm going to break all this down for you. Okay, I'm done sharing everything. Now it's time to rock and roll. Get this puppy moving along here. So there's the disturbance again. Little burst of thunderstorms here all of a sudden on the eastern side of this feature. Hurricane hunters were in there earlier. They did find winds at flight level of 55. Again, not at the surface. Want to make that very clear to you guys. So this was not upgraded. It was not upgraded to a tropical storm. There's no real center of circulation. It's more of a broad low. Currently, there are no hurricane hunters in there. They've left this area. So we'll continue to look for their data coming our way as we get you into late tonight and tomorrow. So that's the latest from there. New models should be coming down here within the next half hour while we are on Facebook Live. In fact, they may be trickling in now. Let's take a look at the path. Again, this path is as of the 4 o'clock advisory. Danielle, Francis, Nancy, Marie, Hilda, good to have you guys in here. Let's take a look at this. We don't get a new cone until about 10 o'clock tonight. But there is the cone going over South Florida, the Keys, and then grazing across southwest tip of Florida before going west and then northeast. And there's a very good reason for the S-shaped figure on this particular storm. I'm going to get to that here in a second. Let's show you the whole cone. There's your S, kind of zigzagging back and forth. We've got a high to the northeast and an upper low to the northwest. One of the things I like to do is I like to show the cone minus any timestamps. You got the timestamp up top there. I'm talking about those little blue boxes. And see if there are any models outside of that cone to potentially dictate how this cone's future may look. And you see you got the H-Mon and the H-Wharf bending back more towards the east and then coming over South Florida, Alligator Alley right there. If that were to verify, that cone would be adjusted more towards the east and then back towards the west. But notice how the models all come into agreement as everything builds back to the west, and then you can see the spread on the models coming back to the northeast. So these are the new models now that I am looking at this. These are the updated models where you can see Miami potentially getting a direct hit from the H-Wharf or the H-Mon. The other group of the models, two camps here, one east, one west, but everything kind of coming together over the southeastern Gulf and then building to the north and the east. So very interesting. Again, southwest Florida would be more in the cone if the H-Wharf and the H-Mon were right. So this might look something that would go up to Lake Okeechobee and maybe as far north there as West Palm Beach before going more towards the west and potentially taking Tampa out of the mix short term and then bending it back longer term. So just food for thought there. With the next cone that comes out and the next update that comes out, I would not be surprised if we have tropical storm watches being posted up for South Florida. That would include Miami-Dade. That would also include Homestead, the Keys, and maybe as far north as Marco Island. So again, a lot going on there. One of the things I do want to do is just do the models with the timestamp this way, so it's not as clustered and cluttered. You can see one camp going over the Keys, the other camp going right over Miami, and then taking a hard left, kind of all re-emerging there southwest of Naples Monday evening. So the worst of the weather for Central Florida is going to be Monday. There's no doubt about that to me. And then potentially, if the H-Wharf and the H-Mon, the red and the purple, are right, then we get right back into a Tuesday night and Wednesday. So it might be a 1-2 punch here that we could be dealing with. Let me show you the intensity forecast. And I want to double check one thing here. What model is that? That is... That's the LGM. All right, so there is one model that does bring this back up to hurricane strength, but it's not one of the models that we are showing. Again, it's an extra model, tropical model that's being put into the fray tonight. Just looking at some of the data now coming in, so that again is what we're talking about. All right, so let's talk about this wind field with ETA. Okay, this would take us to Sunday 8:30. Again, South Florida. There's Monday, 4:30, South Florida, South Central Florida, early in the morning. This only goes out 72 hours, so it would stop. It would stop right there at about 1 o'clock, coming in as far southern Brevard County. Now, I can do you one better and show you the model data out farther than that. This is based on what the Hurricane Center is putting on out, but I want to do it this way. I want to try something here with you guys and tell me if you like this. So that's the wind radii. Here's the chance of tropical storm force winds. Again, this is as of the 4 o'clock advisory. And look at that. It does come up to, it comes up to Orlando on Monday and then fills in as that storm begins to curve back more towards the north. So there's a lot going on here, a lot of bending and turning, twisting and curving. You put it all together. And here's how I shake it out. Impacts expected down across South Florida for sure. Impacts likely from Lake Okeechobee to Tampa. For now, I'm keeping all of Central Florida into impacts possible. That is more than likely going to be upgraded though to impacts likely. And then we'll put the impacts possible up to the north. I want to wait to see what the new cone does here when we get that a little bit later on this evening around 10 o'clock. All right, local impacts. For me, it's coastal concerns. It's heavy rain. Severe winds and tornadoes, just not seeing that right now. But if this thing were to get strong, and certainly stronger than what's being depicted, you look at the front right quadrant, most of the severe weather would be across South Florida. And so I feel good that it's low for now, but I would urge you guys to keep checking back in to get the updates on that. Now, I want to show you, I've kind of made my own color table here. This is kind of cool. So I've derived the winds from the ETA. ETA winds here using the Euro. And here's what the Euro does. At 7 p.m. Sunday, notice that tropical storm force wind gusts in as soon as daybreak on Monday. So that's what I'm thinking there. Gusts, not sustained. There's a big difference there. Now, so how does that compare with the raw data? This is a great question. So this is the Euro model winds. There's 6:30 on Sunday. Look at the tropical storm force winds already up to Stewart. These are gusts, not sustained. I want to make that very clear. So we get to tropical storm force gust in Orlando during the day on Monday, if you like the Euro, and along the coast. Let's zoom it in and add some more local cities and a better local flavor here. You can see here. So there's the onset of tropical storm force wind gusts, not sustained winds, just after midnight in Brevard County. And then by the time we get to, let's call it right there, 9, 10 o'clock in the morning, tropical storm force wind gusts potentially here in the metro areas. Notice the coast, 50-mile-an-hour wind gusts there in Melbourne, if you like the Euro. And then everything kind of lifts on to the west for a little bit. Now, let's switch it up, and let me show you the GFS. GFS is a little bit stronger. There's the wind gusts, not sustained. We'll make that very clear on the GFS Stewart, 56. 57 Stewart. Orlando peaks at 46, and so does Ocala. That is on the GFS, not the Euro. Now let's just do it this way now. Let's zoom it in, get a little closer. And there you have it, 45, 3:30 in the morning on Monday, 50, 52 on the GFS. Orlando again peaking at about 46, Claremont 51 along the GFS. These are gusts. And then Tuesday, as the storm is trying to curl back again, maybe getting back into a ribbon there of some gusty winds or thunderstorms with some heavier tropical downpours. So again, just a different way to look at it. Now, I'm going to break down the coast here for everybody. Hope this helps. This makes all sense to you guys. All right, worst weather Monday. That's not to say that Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday aren't going to have a byproduct of ETA. But with the storm coming by, you look along the coast, sustained 25, 35, gust 35 to 55. So again, that would be something that we're gonna watch. Rainfall in Brevard County highest. You go up north a little bit lower, and that's just for Monday. Watching dangerous surf, rip currents, and of course coastal beach erosion. The other thing, we talked about this, check this out. These are the breaking waves, folks. The breaking waves right there along the coast. Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday. So Monday peaking at 10 to 12. Tuesday, again, 6 to 8 feet breakers. Daytona Beach. Here you go. Also Monday, 10 to 12 feet. So there you go. Lots to talk about. Lots going on. There you have it. Now, rainfall-wise, this is a 7-day forecast. There's Miami. There's Tampa. You can see the heavy rain down south. But if the model bends closer to the coast, these values here north of Orlando could be substantially higher. So let's take a look at the Euro and see what it's doing. The European computer model forecast the total through Monday, when the lion's share of the rain comes through, 1/2 inch to 1.5 inches north and west, 3 to 5 inches south and east. You throw in a couple of extra days, and you get a little more rain. Now the GFS, here you go. Oh, am I frozen? Tell me I'm not frozen. I am frozen. Thank you for the heads up. Appreciate that. Let me unfreeze myself, and then I will click on OK. All right, I should be back. Thank you for the heads up there, kind person. All right, so that's a look at the GFS rainfall here now. Again, it's a lot of rain, anywhere from 1 to almost 4.5 inches area-wide. So there you go. That's kind of a look at that from the European and the GFS standpoint. Again, GFS is definitely a lot wetter. So either way, I think we're going to do very well in the rainfall department. Now, the question is, well, how long is the ETA going to stick around and give us a lot of rain? I'm in the camp that I think we're going to have Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and potentially even Thursday, where we have a lot of rain with this storm as it goes by South Florida on Monday, then curves around and comes back at us sometime Wednesday or Thursday. So Don't fill up your pools with any water if you're low. Turn your water sprinklers off. I think we're all going to do pretty well when it comes to the rainfall amounts. So that's the camp I lean in, and so that's what I'm thinking right there. So let me show you. Let me show you the European and the GFS separately here. And here's the Euro. Again, this is from earlier in the afternoon, kind of going over South Florida. There's South Florida going west or west-southwest, and then coming back to the north. So depending upon how close the Euro gets to us as it comes back to the north will determine just how much more rain we get. Here's the American GFS. You can see there's Sunday. And then check that out. Right over Miami. 5 a.m. Monday. Hanging over South Florida. Then kind of hugging the coast there. On Tuesday. Near Tampa. And then kind of just weakening right over Central and North Florida. So again, totally different scenario being played out by the American GFS model. Only time will tell who's right. Again, land interaction is always going to be a key here. There's no doubt about that. No one's going to argue that with anybody here. Again, this is not going to be a storm that even after Monday, as it's pulling away briefly, is going away. I still think we're going to be dealing with some impacts on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. So it kind of does a little bit of a loop-de-loop and kind of comes back into the northeastern Gulf or even potentially over Central Florida. So that's one of the things that we'll be watching here for you guys as we go through the next couple of days. So again, I am not expecting a hurricane based upon the trend on what's going on with our storm as of right now. We're going to be carefully, closely monitoring this system here. Big burst of thunderstorms now going on in the northwestern Caribbean. There is a chance, Tabitha, that it could circle back towards Central Florida. Absolutely, yes. So that's a look at that. Now, somebody was just asking about the weather for Saturday and Sunday, and that's a great question. So let's take a look at that. Here's a look at Saturday and Sunday. There will be showers around tomorrow. We're not going to be dry, but I do like Saturday better than Sunday. You can see the storm system starting to come up to the north there by 8 p.m. Sunday, and then, as we get you into early next week, there's your turn to the west before headed back to the north and potentially bringing us more rain as we get into Wednesday night and Thursday. Sean Marie, Paul, good to have you guys. Thank you for popping in and saying hi. You guys are awesome. Let's see here. So that's a look at that. Felicia, I think tomorrow morning you're okay, unless you're on the coast. Then it might be a little bit different scenario there for you along the coast. But again, concerns along the coast are going to be for beach erosion, rip currents. We've got small craft advisories. Could be upgraded to a gale. Yeah, Bob Daly, we're watching that. Again, you take a look at the intensity forecast. The majority of them stay below hurricane status. There's one model that we are looking at that does have on the cusp of a hurricane there on Monday. But again, we're not going to jump that gun just yet. Bottom line is to just be ready for whatever comes our way. To me, right now, I'm thinking it's going to be more of rain. That's going to be the big concern for me, and squally weather, especially as we get you into Monday, when I think we could be dealing with some issues there. So coastal concerns high, heavy rainfall medium, severe winds. I don't think we'll have severe winds. I think we'll have some tropical storm gust. So I may bump that up now to medium based on the new trends here. The models coming in. So there we go. Tornado threat, severe weather threat is low. But yeah, so we'll watch that. Severe winds are usually 58 miles an hour higher, but yeah, we'll watch that. That's one of the things that we're going to watch here carefully. Again, the track will determine how much rain we get, how much wind we get. If it tracks closer to Central Florida, like some of the models tonight, two of the models are indicating the H-Mon and the H-Schwarf. If those verify, then we'd have a little bit more in the way of wind and rain on Monday before things hopefully pull away. And then you can see that the H-Wharf and H-Mon, the H-Wharf, by the way, has a middle end tropical storm. Looking at some of the data right now, the H-Mon also a middle end tropical storm in the 50 to 60 mile an hour range. So some good news on that front right there. All right, so that's a look at that. Now, again, I wanted to go through the wind gust again with the Euro versus the GFS. Okay, these are wind gust, not sustained winds. I want to make that very clear. Notice how they start picking up Sunday evening down south, and then after midnight, here we go. There's right after midnight, we get the tropical storm force. Stop that right there. Boom. Just after midnight, tropical storm force. Look at that. Coming into Orlando, tropical storm force winds about 11 a.m. on Monday. And then there you go. You can see right there, dying down a little bit on Tuesday. The American GFS. Again, these are tropical storm force wind gusts, not sustained. Big difference between sustained tropical storm force and tropical storm force wind gusts. So there you go. So there it is. There's Monday, 1:30 in the morning. Tropical storm force gust on the GFS already coming in. 5 a.m. Monday in Orlando. Tropical storm force wind gusts peaking on the American GFS right there. 11:30 on Monday. 46 Orlando, 51 Claremont. There you have it. So, and then what happens here is when you see the storm go by, sometimes you get these bands coming on in. So that's kind of what you're seeing there. You get some gusty winds in that sometimes. So that's a look at that. And remember now, you take a look at this track, which is kind of like an S. Let's do this. It's like a snake. It's an S. Monday, and then potentially coming back. We're hugging the coast. If it hugs the coast, we really don't get a break. If it moves away, then comes back. We get Monday, maybe a brief break on Tuesday. Not that we'll be dry, and then Wednesday night, Thursday it comes back. So crazy track, but look, 2020, anything can happen. Just keep checking back in. My job is just to give you the latest information, show you the possibilities, and go from there. Okay, chance of tropical storm force winds. This is sustained. Again, it's low, but the tropical storm force wind gusts we will have a higher chance of getting. So there's a big difference between the chance of tropical storm force winds, which are sustained, and the model forecasting the wind gust, which are in that tropical storm force. I am working, by the way, because Bob brings up a good point. Bob, I am working Sunday night and next week. So there you go. Dina, appreciate your kind words. John Witt, again, those are tropical storm gusts, not sustained. There's a big difference there. I just want to make sure everybody's clear on that. So let's take a look at the steering winds here. This is great. I got so many graphics that I can't show on TV, but I make them for Facebook Live. There's the Euro coming at South Florida, and then going west or stalling out, and then saying, yeah, you know what? I'm going to start to lift back towards Pensacola, Florida. So we'll watch that. That's their scenario. And then here you go. There's that upper low in Texas. There's the GFS. Right over South Florida, just kind of hanging there. Slow, methodical, hanging along the west coast of Florida. And then just kind of falling apart. raining itself out Wednesday and Thursday. We take a look at the Euro versus the GFS. A different way to look at it. Hey, Tony, Michigan Brainer here. Janae, I'm glad you like that, by the way. Fellowship's in the house. Brevard County, Rika Doucette. Give me one sec. I'll answer you there. So there's a look at the tropical models. Boom. You can see just kind of an amalgamation right over South Florida, and then the GF European in the red there. It just kind of tries to hang around. All right. So for me, got to really watch the coast here. This is where we can get into trouble. And I am working on finishing off the rest of the counties for tonight's 10 and 11, as I'm basing it on some of this newer information that is coming on in. So Rika, Joanne, Sarah, Tara, Patty, Maria Gonzalez. You guys know my motto: sharing is caring. The more people we can reach by you guys sharing these Facebook Live feeds, people we can put in the weather know. All right, so tropical depression ETA as of now. Here's the impacts along the coast, what we're expecting. Worst weather is on Monday. That's not to say, though, that there's not going to be issues on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday if the GFS model is correct. Winds sustained 25-35, gusts 35 to 55, 55 in Brevard, closer to 40 in Palm Coast area, and closer to 40 to 45 in Volusia County, just FYI. So yeah, I'm off tomorrow, but I am going to be back here as we get you back into Sunday night. I'll be working here on WASH. So there's a look at that. All right, let me wrap it up with the 7-day. I'm going to make some more graphics here for tonight's 10 and 11. I want to get the county by county graphics done. There's a peek now at your updated 7-day forecast. There you have it. Saturday 84, Sunday 82, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. We're in it. We're watching definitely Monday. We'll have to wait and see if Tuesday and Wednesday give us more issues there, but that's why I've kind of kept the rain chances high, because I'm in the camp that if this thing is hanging off the coast, it will give us a very good opportunity for lingering tropical downpours. All right, gang, see you tonight at 10. Have all the county by county stuff, finishing those off now. And then again at 11, you guys are always a great group. Love your questions, love your banter. Again, not expecting a hurricane based upon what I'm seeing. We'll watch the trends. I'll have an update for you as we head into the weekend. You guys see you tonight at 10 and 11. Enjoy your weekend. Stay safe and wear those masks.